There is no such thing as work-life balance. Everything worth fighting for unbalances your life. Everyone wants a better life. Very few of us want to be better people. Do you love me enough that I may be weak with you? Everyone loves strength. But do you love me for my weakness? That is the real test. We don't really learn anything properly until there is a problem, until we are in pain, until something fails to go as we had hoped. We suffer. Therefore we think. The challenge for a human now is to be more interesting to another than his or her smartphone. Anyone who isn't embarrassed of who they were last year probably isn't learning enough. It looks like it's wasting time, but literature is actually the ultimate time saver because it gives us access to a range of emotions and events that it would take you years, decades, millennia to try to experience directly. Literature is the greatest reality simulator, a machine that puts you through infinitely more situations than you can ever directly witness. Maturity, the confidence to have no opinions on many things. You normally have to be bashed about a bit by life to see the point of daffodils, sunsets, and uneventful nice days. The only people we can think of as normal are those we don't yet know very well. Intimacy is the capacity to be rather weird with someone and finding that that's okay with them. The only way to be happy is to realize how much depends on how you look at things. Good books put a finger on emotions that are deeply our own, but that we could never have described on our own. What I want to argue for is not that we should give up on our ideas of success, but that we should make sure that they are our own. We should focus in on our ideas and make sure that we own them, that we're truly the authors of our own ambitions, because it's bad enough not getting what you want. But it's even worse to have an idea of what it is you want and find out at the end of the journey that it isn't, in fact, what you wanted all along. Forgiveness requires a sense that bad behavior is a sign of suffering rather than malice. Sweetness is the opposite of machismo, which is everywhere, and I really don't get on with machismo. I'm interested in sensitivity and weakness and fear. At the end of the day, behind our masks, that's what we are. Don't despair. Despair suggests you are in total control and know what is coming. You don't. Surrender to events with hope. Work finally begins when the fear of doing nothing exceeds the fear of doing it badly. I learned to stop fantasizing about the perfect job or the perfect relationship, because that can actually be an excuse for not living. One of the better guarantors of ending up in a good relationship, an advanced capacity to be alone. The difference between hope and despair is a different way of telling stories from the same facts about. Feeling lost, crazy, and desperate belongs to a good life as much as optimism, certainty, and reason. Work is most fulfilling when you're at the comfortable, exciting edge of not quite knowing what you are doing. Literature deserves its prestige for one reason, above all others, because it's a tool to help us live and die with a little bit more wisdom, goodness, and sanity. Envy, a confused, tangled guide to one's own ambitions. A good half of the art of living is resilience. The best cure for one's bad tendencies is to see them in action in another person. A virtuous, ordinary life striving for wisdom but never far from folly is achievement enough. Every time we feel satisfied with what we have, we can be counted as rich, however little we may actually possess. Mental health. Having enough safe places in your mind for your thoughts to settle. Though it may feel otherwise, enjoying life is no more dangerous than apprehending it with continuous anxiety and gloom. Most of us still caged within careers chosen for us by our not entirely worldly 18 to 22-year-old selves. One kind of good book should leave you asking, how did the author know that about me? It is by finding out what something is not that one comes closest to understanding what it is. And happiness can stem from having only one perspective to play with. We keep a special place in our hearts for people who refuse to be impressed by us. The greatest works of art speak to us without knowing us.